Good freaking morning. I'm Mark Lucent, and this is Freaking Coffee. So I just threw a short up on YouTube talking about mold in your coffee and things like that. And I said in that video, I don't know when I'm going to get to actually upload a video explaining what to watch out for and how to prevent these things. Well, I'm going to work, and last night I posted a video basically in the dark, having used a light, and I'm like, if I have the option, why don't I freaking record on the way into work? So here we are. Now we have some daylight. You can actually see my freaking ugly mug. And now we can go into detail, because I don't actually need any freaking props really to show you and explain to you how to avoid mold in your coffee grounds, how to avoid getting it in the store. So anyways, all right. Number one thing, the age of your coffee and how long it's been sitting in the shelf is the absolute number one problem when it comes to getting mold in your coffee. And this is something, it's common now, it's just not common, right? So it's out there in the internet, you can find it. Coffee as it gets produced from the major coffee producers, typically it's going to sit in a warehouse for X amount of time before it gets sent to stores as their stock depletes and they need to restock. All right, so you are likely already getting coffee that is at its best probably a month old minimum before you buy it from the giant coffee conglomerates. And that doesn't mean it's all bad at all, okay? I think you're totally fine to have your coffee if you consume it within 1 to 3 months of its roast date. I think that number would probably need to drop a little bit if you're buying ground coffee that's already ground up, because that is a little more susceptible to basically absorbing moisture and growing things, bad things. So mycelia is what you're looking out for, aka fungus, aka mold. All right, moisture is basically mold's best friend. And when you have coffee grounds, especially, if you brew some coffee kind of uncommon and you've left coffee in a coffee maker that's had water run through it, it will grow mold. You can look in there probably in a week, maybe 2, and actually see a very large patch of visible white and green mold growing on your coffee. Now, guess what? Number one, if you bought that from the store, the trace amounts or larger amounts of mycelia was already in the coffee, right? Because it's been in a warehouse where this mold is quite prevalent. It's already all over the place. And then it's set X amount of time, blah, 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 as you freaking know, and it's grown before it ever gets to you. This is why it's extremely important to check the expiration dates on your coffee, because remember, if you've watched one of my earlier videos, I kind of talked about this and explained this. A lot of coffee companies will set their shelf life to 8 months, all right? Now, you got to remember, you need to add on to that 8 months at least 1 month, minimum. So if it's July and it expires in November, you need to actually say in your head, oh, that expires in October, okay? And that's the max. The coffee is in July. That's already kind of a date to where I'm like, I don't really want this. This is probably already stale, right? Because you're already halfway there through your 8-month mark. So watch out what you buy, because you don't want to drink mold. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not going to kill you, most people at least. There are some people that are highly allergic to it. And if you do your research on this as well, there are some coffees out there that people are allergic to. There's so many different things in coffee that people can be freaking allergic to. And if you add mold into it, there's another factor right there that you can end up being allergic to and cause more issues. So you want to avoid it altogether. On top of that, it's disgusting. Who wants to drink or eat mold? No one wants that. No one thinks about that when they get one. Man, I can't wait to brew some freaking mold. No, that's nasty. Okay? So, it is really important. There are some amazing coffee companies out there. I like to talk about them sometimes because, like my own company, like myself, Freakin' Coffee is a veteran-owned coffee. In fact, I'm a disabled veteran, so you could say it's a disabled veteran-owned coffee company. Much like my brother company, and when I say brother, we're not affiliated, but like brothers in arms, so to speak, and that's Black Rifle. Black Rifle, they do some roasted to order, but they mainly focus, because of the size, on small batch. What that means is they make smaller batches of coffee, so it sits in the warehouse for less time. I really like Black Rifle. I really like, I think it's Death Wish I had a while ago. Very good coffees that are small batch roasted order. And I say this because if you just don't want to go and buy my coffee online, for a similar price, you can get these higher quality coffees that do small batch roasts, and your chance to avoid mold is going to be drastically higher, if not eliminated altogether, by buying them. Now, when you go to the generic brands and all that stuff, all the major producers that produce literally just tens of thousands of tons, if not hundreds of thousands of tons of coffee per month, per year, etc., then your chance of mold is practically guaranteed. So I highly recommend, if you want to avoid mold, that you avoid buying old coffee altogether. Buy the artisan brands like mine, buy the small batch coffee like Black Rifle, and stay away from all the crap. You deserve something that's not crap anyways, so don't drink crap. You know, you're going to get way less things that affect your body if you don't drink crap. Don't put garbage in your body, garbage in, garbage out, so to speak, right? So, that's that part of mold. Number 2 part of mold, how to avoid mold in your coffee, like in your coffee maker. So, just like everything else I'm talking about, moisture, the age of the coffee, when you make your coffee, make sure you promptly clean out the coffee grounds, because even if it's like coffee residue, if it's got some coffee residue in the water and it just sits there, guess what? You've got a growing bed for mold. So you got to get rid of these things quickly. And then, excuse you, pal. Jesus, freaking idiot! Almost caused a wreck, moron. Lord. The things I see when I'm freaking driving to work and back. Anyways, sorry about that. But again, you know, car coffee video means no editing, because, you know, I like to upload before I get back to my editor at home. And so, what you see is what you get, pal. Anyways, so run the vinegar water through. Remember, 2 cups of water, 2 cups of vinegar. If you need to go higher. So my carafe holds, I think, 10 cups. That means 5 cups of water, 5 cups of vinegar. I haven't got to explain this in detail yet, and I want to actually show you how to do it later in the video when I have time. But what you want to do is, to get all the mold out of your coffee maker, you run that through twice. You want 2 runs with that same vinegar water. And if you really want to be sure, I would do that max carafe amount, run it through, let it percolate through, no coffee in there obviously, and clean all the garbage out. Dump your carafe, rinse it out, make the mixture a second time, run it through, dump it out. Now we want to rinse the coffee maker so we get rid of any excess crap, the vinegar's broken up, and not have any vinegar flavor in our coffee. So now run it through your full coffee container, whatever it is. Max it out on water only twice. Same thing, run it through, dump the water, run it through again, dump the water. Now, your coffee maker should be spick and span, sparkling clean. Anyways, I'm Mark Lucid, this is Freakin' Coffee. Here is a tutorial on how to avoid mold in your coffee and how to clean mold out of your freaking coffee maker. I'll be at work soon, so I hope you have a great freaking day. And after this long work week hour's over, I'm going to get back to recording from my little mini studio at my desk, and the video quality won't be 100% crap like they are now. Have a great day.